Hey folks, BlackCross here, and welcome to another vlog video. This one is just straight up a vlog video discussing all the tidbits and stuff that's going to be happening and stuff like that, as well as a number of updates that I want to go ahead and talk about. For example, biggest thing that I want to go ahead and update you guys on is that even though the next couple of months we're going to have like a bullet storm of video game news and stuff like that, especially since E3 is literally right around the corner. It's like, yeah, E3 is finally here this year, so it's like, despite what happened last year, we had just a little bit of sprinkled gaming news, enough news to keep us alive and stuff. This year, I have no doubt in mind, is going to be some big news. In fact, as of the recording of this video right now, there are already some pre-show news coming out in regards to several other game units and stuff. So needless to say, we're in the overhaul time for pre-shows at this rate. And of course, I will do like a recap highlight of all the games I'm looking forward to that had just been announced during E3 and stuff like that. But real quickly, I do want to go ahead and kind of talk about some predictions that I would like to hear and stuff like that. For example, I would love to hear more updates in regards to the Black Myth Wukong. I did a video on that one technically some time ago whenever I first found out about it last year, and needless to say, that game looks very impressive. I don't know how far they are in terms of the development, in terms of like how soon we might see a release of it, but right now I am looking forward to what this game looks. This looks so insanely fun, and I cannot wait for it to come out. It's that same level of like hypeness that I have for Biomutant. It's something different and unique, and it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing. And, you know, much like Biomutant, we have no idea when it comes out, except this time around Biomutant is released, technically. Technically, in terms of like, yeah, it's officially out. Back to the whole E3 prediction thing. Next to that, I would like to hear more updates on Sony N. Sony has keep bragging and bragging, saying that they're going to be releasing a plethora of exclusive titles that's going to be released for the PlayStation 5 and all that stuff. So needless to say, it's going to be nice to hear some more updates in regards to like what games we're going to be potentially seeing for the PlayStation 5. Although, for the record, I still have yet to have gotten a PS5, so there's that little bit of details. It's like, yeah, and the problem is that Sony has also confirmed that there will be a shortage of PS5s up until 2022. So if I was going to plan on getting a PS5 this year, slim pickings from the way it sounds. So yeah, good luck with that on my end. Another big thing too to talk about as well is also the fact that, you know, next to game releases and stuff like that, my personal life is going to be very busy from here on out, you know, up until probably by fall, maybe, I want to say. Maybe fall, I don't know, but for the time being, it will get very busy. And I do want to go ahead and talk about it, but first things first, I'm sure some of you are going to be asking me, how's Biomutant? How's SMT3 Remaster? I would tell you, except by the time of this recording, I have yet to have got them yet. So, Biomutant I had pre-ordered on Amazon, the collector's edition, and quick little thing, thanks to Amazon's pricing mechanism saying that's happened over the past few years since I pre-ordered it, I technically got it at half price. I'm not even exaggerating it. It was like $119 normal price, and because I pre-ordered it like 3 years ago and stuff like that, and everything, the prices went down actually in Amazon's case, and now I only have to pay $59.99 or $65 if you count everything with shipping, handling, and taxes. But also too, the SMT3 Remastered. I thought our Walmart was going to get a copy of it on the shelf, and when I went that same Tuesday morning to pick it up, I didn't see it on the shelf. I didn't even see a tag label that indicated that it was going to be on the shelf. Sometimes I hate my Walmart. I mean, there's another reason, but that's all work-related stuff, but sometimes I hate how Walmart runs his business. You know, I truly do. But I figured, okay, well, if not them, then, oh wait, GameStop is closed in my town. Well, shit. So I basically have no other option of getting the game except for ordering it online, to which I ordered it on Amazon as well. I know some people would be very nitpicky about ordering that much game stuff on Amazon and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Now I have no other choice. You know, normally I could go to GameStop and pre-order the thing and everything like that and place payments on it and stuff like that, and then by the time the game release, as soon as GameStop opens this door, I walk in, pick up my game, and walk out. In this case, I can't do that anymore. Unless I want to drive 45 minutes away to the next known GameStop location. That's my other alternative, sadly. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to spend an extra $10 on shipping and handling in order for it to get here fast enough. And surprisingly, according to the shipping tracking, both Biomutant and SMT3 Remaster will get here on the same day. I did not plan this, that's just how it got itself set up. So yeah, both of them will be shipped at the same time, and they will get here at the same time. So by the time this video gets released, they will both be in my vicinity and ready to start playing and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, which means that by the time my next weekend comes up, I probably won't be recording anything at all. Now, record, I've got a lot of videos technically planned up and stuff like that for the up and coming weeks and stuff like that. So there won't be any noticeable changes. There won't be any noticeable, like, hey, where are the videos and stuff like that. There are some videos that are going to be released. For example, the PlayStation 2 Legacy, I've got enough of them made for a while, up until, like, you know, next month probably. And then I'd be like, okay, I need to record an episode now. But I do want to spend most of my time playing these games and just having the ever-loving blast of my time. And keep in mind, Biomutant has been like the biggest anticipated game since Kingdom Hearts 3, and then of course Final Fantasy 15 for that matter. So needless to say, I'm looking forward to it. I know my expectations were high. They're still high, but I'm having to keep them low for just in case, because of how long the development has taken with Biomutant, which I hope everything goes well. This game, I'm looking so forward to it. I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait for it. And then, of course, SMT3 Remaster, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne is literally one of my top 10 favorite games of all time, and so to get a remaster of it releasing for the PS4 and Switch, I'm more than excited for it. So needless to say, I'm looking forward to playing that game. That's going to be the longest RPGs that I'll be playing for a while, next to a handful of other RPGs. But you'll get to see my full-on reaction of the HD remaster version of that one on my second channel, considering the fact that it is considered one of my favorite games. So, whenever I release that first episode of SMT3 Remastered, you'll get to see it when it gets here. And hopefully not too long. But with that being said, that's basically it on that part. In terms of streaming, we're still streaming Okami HD, you know, trying to get all the, trying to beat the story mostly for the most part, trying to beat the main story first, and then going for the collectibles and stuff like that. But I kind of had a thought process. I kind of had a thought in my mind of like how I want to do Twitch streaming from here on out. And that's only because of the fact that, number one, I mean, not to say that there's anything wrong with what I do. It's more of a kin of, well, not being able to get things set up and everything like that. Here's the thing. Whenever I do Twitch streamings, I always check everything. I always make certain the video's working. I always make certain the audio's working and everything like that. And here's the thing. While in terms of, like, everything like this is okay, I feel like it's not really necessary anymore. I don't feel the need of like having to have a face cam anymore for my Twitch stream, because the Twitch streams are now going to be mostly focused on like trying to platinum games and stuff like that. That's all I want them to be technically for the time being right now, until there's like some kind of like event thing I want to do, and then we'll go from there. But the thing is, with these particular completion aspects and stuff like that, I want to go Twitch streaming a little bit different. Obviously, I don't have a huge following, so naturally, there's no real reason for me to have interaction with people and stuff like that, unless they talk to me, which I've had a couple of interactions. I've had a couple of people, like, you know, talking to me and stuff like that through Twitch streaming and stuff like that, and it's been fun, but I do want to get me more recognized. And what better way to get myself recognized than just pop in on Twitch stream at a random time? Now, I know most of the time I normally stream on Tuesdays and then sometimes on Wednesdays, or depending on who you are, Wednesdays and Thursdays, considering the time frame. But I do want to go ahead and just do like random Twitch streams here and there, you know, just kind of throw myself out there a bit, you know, just do like an hour at a time per se, because let's face it, with games like Okami and then other games that obviously I want to platinum and stuff like that, they're going to take a lot of time, and what better way to take up that time than just to do them at random times. Obviously, there's still a lot of videos that I want to make and stuff like that, so those will probably postpone some of the Twitch streams and stuff like that. But for the unseeable future, until something else happens, I'm planning on doing some random streams from here on out. Obviously, I haven't decided when I'm going to start doing this random stream moment, but when this happens, you'll know, obviously, on Twitter. You know, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll get updates as to, like, when I'll be streaming and stuff like that, because I'll be posting it on Twitter. So, just let you know. But to give you a time frame as to, like, when I might stream, in my time frame, considering the fact that I'm over in Tennessee, my time frame would be, like, probably around 7:30 to 8:30 on the weekdays, which is, like, in my case, technically, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Monday. Sunday's a little bit different, but that's beside the point. And then Tuesdays and Wednesdays is like, you know, after midnight and stuff. But I may do like morning streams and stuff like that. I don't know. Again, this is all going to be experimental, and I do want to try it out just to see what happens. Plus, you know, just to kind of speed things along of like trying to complete games and stuff like that. They're going to be time consuming, but at the same time, you know, just for the heck of it, why not just try, you know, just do an hour stream and see what happens. I've done this technically once a while back, and it worked out pretty well, but unfortunately my schedule has kind of altered to some degree, so I figured why not go back to that same trend and see what happens, you know. We don't know what could happen, but if it turns out positive, then yippee hooray for me. If not, then I may default back into that same method that I've got, but for the time being right now, it's all going to be experimental. So when this video comes out, you'll be prepared to see some random moments of, hey, BlackCross is on Twitch and everything like that. And you're going to be like, wait, what? What time is it? So it's going to be random. That's all I can say. And then I do want to go ahead and just dive a little bit deeper into my personal life, especially considering the fact that I had one small thing that happened, and then in the next month, I'm hoping in the next month, a big thing's going to happen. So in terms of small updates, you guys know that GameStop technically closed its doors in my town a couple months back. As of March, it officially closed its doors. So that was unfortunate for me to see that the only game shop that I could go in is closed. So needless to say, they're gone. They're out the door. They're never coming back, probably. I sincerely doubt that they would come back. If they do, they probably rechange themselves or something. But in the downside of GameStop, something better has come into my town. Yeah, something better than GameStop. I know a lot of people are like, there's a lot of stuff that can be better than GameStop. What are you talking about? And it's like, well, in my town, we don't actually have retro video game stores. Instead, we have thrift stores, pawn shops, mom and pop, Goodwills, and all that stuff. And unfortunately, they're not the best places for picking up video games. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're not the best places. In fact, my personal favorite pawn shops that I normally go to, they were my favorite. They were. There was a time that I actually did kind of go game hopping in my town at the different thrift stores to see what I could find. And well, there wasn't as much as compared to, like, say, for example, back in, like, early 2020, like January 2020, before all this happened, where me and Delmar did, like, a game hopping thing over on the west side of Tennessee. Or is it the east side? I don't know. But either way, we had fun. We had fun just going to different game shops and stuff like that. And so a few years ago, we did that with my town and everything like that, just to see what the different pawn shops have. And well, while one did have a whole bunch of games that I was wanting to get, there was another one that had like maybe one or two that I gotten, which wasn't a bad thing, but it was definitely not as like high tier. But I would not recommend going to these pawn shops, especially considering the fact that if the game is considered high value, they will milk the ever-loving crap out of your wallet. Seriously, unless you're a real dedicated collector and you know you're not going to get it cheaper anywhere else, which you can in this case, they will charge up the wazoo when it comes to these game prices. Seriously, I've looked at some of the video game prices that they had locked up in cases and stuff like that, and when I saw the prices, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's cheaper even on eBay. Sure enough, there was a game known as Medieval 2. And I saw it, and I was like, what? What the? It was priced at $80, $79.99. I was like, ouch, I'm pretty sure that's a $50, $60 game that you can get on eBay. Even on eBay. It's like, what the hell? You know, they don't base it on value of the actual game itself. They don't go on like videogamevalue.com type thing or whatever. Instead, they go based on eBay, and whatever is the highest selling number, that's where their price range is going to be. And it's like, that's not a good business way of doing it. So I've kind of since then pushed myself away from pawn shops, and since then I've never really gone back into them unless I was like, for the hell of it, let's just go ahead and see what I can find, which I hadn't done that since then. So, but recently we had a little bit of a spur of news that came up over the past month, actually. So one of our friends was telling my brother Delmar that apparently we was gonna get a game exchange in town, and I was like, as soon as he told me, I was like, I was livid. I was like, oh my gosh. And the thing is, according to the rumor was that it wouldn't open its door until August. So I was like, okay, so I just gotta wait a couple months. I can wait. I've waited 6 months before I go out of town and go shop hopping and stuff like that in other places and everything. So I can wait 2 months. That's not gonna kill me. The anticipation is killing me right now. But whenever, about a week ago, me and my brother drove past where the shop is going to be located at, and not only did they paint the building in the color of Game Exchange, which is unusual because Game Exchange is normally like a shop in like a shop strip or like a mall or something like that. To see a standalone store building and Game Exchange inhabiting it is definitely something that I've never seen before. But it painted colors, the orange and blue color textures, and also a sign with Game Exchange saying now open. Wow, August got here real quick, didn't it? I mean, I was just like, and me and Delmar was like, we're going there Tuesday. And we went in there, and I am so happy. I would love to go into details with the store itself, but let's just put it this way, for the sake of protection and everything like that, I wanted to keep it private and everything like that. Plus, a few little things and all that stuff, it wasn't that big. I mean, for the record, it definitely was large on the inside. But in terms of like selections, for the time being right now, it's not a whole lot of selections. I mean, in terms of like me and my collection of hobbies and stuff like that, I did get me 4 games. I was like, okay, there's a lot of games and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, this is cool, this is cool. And I thought to myself, if Game Exchange is here now, that means every pay period, I can probably come up here and just buy 2-3 games to add to my collection of PS2 games. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I love this. This is great. This is just because GameStop, while technically they do have a retro type thing, is not well received, sadly. So it's not really a #1 place to buy your retro games. Even I wouldn't recommend it, so I'd be afraid of what would happen. But with Game Exchange, I would definitely shop there all the time if I had the choice. And needless to say, now that we have one here in my town, I can't be any more happy. And what's even more happy is the fact that the same people that I remember who worked it at the GameStop are going to be working here in the Game Exchange. That is awesome, because there are 2 particular people, I mean technically 3, but I don't know if the other one's going to be working there or not, but 2 of them are going to be working at the Game Exchange. One of them, I remember him working at GameStop earlier, but then he just kind of up and disappears. So I have a funny feeling, knowing him, he probably quit GameStop and he was probably doing something else and everything like that. And then the other guy, he not only got himself, kind of pushed to the side by GameStop, but when he heard that Game Exchange was going to be coming to Crossville and all that stuff, he was like, okay, I'm going to go sign up for Game Exchange. And then when he did, and they were getting ready to open and stuff like that, he called him up and said, hey, Game Exchange is going to be opening up. Do you want the job? And he's like, hell yeah, I do. And yeah, we got to talk to him Tuesday, and needless to say, he's livid. He's happy. He's like, this is the game store that I wanted to work, not the corporate bullshit that GameStop is. And I'm like, this is definitely an upgrade for a lot of people, especially for people like myself, for Crossville and Genuine, and for everybody else that either works or shops there. So needless to say, I can't be any more happier. So all we gotta do now for Delmar's case is for a model train store to open up, and then I think Crossville will finally be the ideal store, the ideal place to live, followed by a Hobby Lobby and IHOP and a Steak and Shake and a Logan Steakhouse. And I better stop right there, or otherwise I'm just not gonna be happy about living here technically. I mean, I could have easily moved out of town, but it's like, in all honesty, because of everything, my friends, my family, my work, here in Crossville, leaving Crossville is not an ideal option for me, sadly. It's one of those things where it's like, while yes, it's an ideal to do, it's definitely not a choice that I actually have, sadly. So I would, but I'm not going to. But speaking of moving, I do want to go ahead and give a big update. And finger crossed that everything goes well, because keep in mind, I don't know how things are going to turn out in the future. But hopefully in the next month or two, me and Delmar are going to be house hunting. Me and Delmar, we actually talked about this earlier last year, before COVID-19 happened. We decided that we wanted to move out of the apartment and move into an actual house, you know, actually live in a house. We decided we wanted to do that, and we thought to ourselves, okay, we can do this. This shouldn't be a problem. And I've been actually looking around, shopping, or not shopping, but just looking around and stuff like that, online mostly and stuff. And I was like, okay, I think we can do this. I think we can pull this off. There's just one question that remains, and that is, how much of a loan can we get approved? That is going to be the biggest factor to ask in, is to figure out if we can be approved for the loan itself. And we're trying to talk to this one bank that my father goes with and stuff like that. And we're hoping that when we finally get into discussions with them and stuff like that, we can figure out how much we can go for. As for like the house itself, I will go into details as to like what we're looking for and stuff like that, but for the time being right now, I'm just going to leave it at that, being that we're going to be looking for a house and stuff, and then if everything goes well, we will be moving out of the apartment and into our own home in the next couple of months. I'm hoping that happens, and hopefully everything goes that well, because if that's the case, that means I get to have my own game room! Isn't that awesome? I've always wanted to have my own game room. Whenever I say my game room, I don't mean like my own bedroom and stuff like that, you know, where I can fiddle around and stuff like that. No, I mean an actual dedicated space for gaming. That's all it would be, you know. It would obviously have my equipment and stuff like that for recording and stuff like that. It would have the TV, but it would also have a separate reclining couch for relaxing. I can set myself up for streaming and stuff like that. I can actually have a background thing like how Metal Jesus or like the Happy Console Gamer does and stuff like that, where their background is just an entire collage of who they are as a gamer. That's like been like ultimate dream of wanting to have, just to have a game room design specifically for me. And I've been wanting that for so long. There's just one main factor. The main culprit! Whenever you have a game room in your bedroom, you don't really have much of space, sadly. And while, yeah, I did have space, but when it comes to fixing up for Twitch streaming and stuff like that, unfortunately, I couldn't really get things set up, sadly. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm just stuck with whatever I have, and that's that, you know, there's nothing else to it. And by the time I got things fixed up for Twitch streaming and stuff like that, it looked a lot nicer, except now I have even less space. And what is the main culprit? The bed. Now, of course, I need the bed in order to sleep. I mean, I can't just replace it with a couch and then lay on the couch and that be the end of the day. I could, but then my back would kill me. and that would make my life miserable. So, not an option. So, when we move out of the house and actually have space for a game room that I want to build and stuff like that, that will be gone, and I will have the space I need in order to do my gaming, do my Twitch streaming, do vlogging videos and stuff like that. I can do all of that, and I cannot wait to do that. The only question is, should I record everything or just do like a highlight reel of like what all I had to do and stuff like that, you know? Because it's like I want to overhaul, jack my game room to the max. Whatever way I'm able to pull off in terms of making the game room, I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to push the limits of designing my game room. I've got the vision in my head. As to actually doing it is another story. So I don't know how things are going to go from here on out, but I'm hoping that we'll find the ideal house that me and Delmar needs for our needs. So that's going to be something to look forward to. So again, be prepared for a video discussion in regards to all of that in due time, whenever that happens. Hopefully it will happen soon-ish. Ish being the key word. But yeah, either way though, guys, that's all the details I wanted to give you in terms of like updates that I wanted to do. Just a few changes here and there, followed by a little period of like slow recording and stuff like that due to the release of Bioimmune and SMT, followed by the update of hopefully moving out. That would be awesome. Can't wait. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Catch you guys later.